Hello lovelies, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if this is your first time of stopping by. Hi, nice meeting you for the first time. Please consider subscribing to my channel. To my old subscribers, I say thank you very much for all your support. I really appreciate it. So in today's video, we'll be making this beautiful play suit for our princesses and I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you at the end of the video. So for this style, we're marking our front and back bodies together, and my fabric is folded into 4 as you can see, and I have extra inches at the left side for my zipper allowance. So the first thing I'm going to do is to take my half length, which is at 11 inches plus 1 inch allowance for joining the pants, and then attaching the collar, then I'm going to go ahead and take my bust measure, my shoulder measurement, and remember measurement is going to be starting from the center front. That's the first folding at my left, and that's what I marked, half of my shoulder measurement, and that same half of my shoulder measurement is what I went down with for my armhole depth. So I'm going to go ahead and take my neckline, and for my neckline I am marking at 2.5 inches by 2 inches for the length, and I'm going to go ahead and then connect it to make a curve. And remember, our measurement is starting from the first line. Then for my back neckline, I'm going down by 1 inch for the back neckline, and the width is still the same, so I connected it. Okay. Then I'm going to, from my neckline, mark 1 inch, half inch for the attaching of our collar, and then the other inch is to turn the armhole area because it's not going to have a sleeve. Then the next thing I did is to mark my bust measurement divided by 4, and that's my waist measurement divided by 4. I am marking this straight because it's not going to be a fitted cloth, that's why I just marked it straight. Then from that 1 inch I marked at the shoulder line, I'm going to slant it to meet my bust line. And that's basically it for the marking of it. It's just a simple clothes. Then I'm going to go ahead and cut it out, cut the neckline, back neckline first before cutting the front neckline. I hope you're enjoying this video. Please give me a thumbs up as usual. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed. Please do not leave today without subscribing. Thank you very much for subscribing, and don't forget to share my videos to family and friends as well. So after I was done cutting the bodies, I'm going to transfer this to my pants, and for this I just place the bodies in front of my folded fabric, and you can see that my fabric has extra allowance about 3 inches there. So from the waistline I'm going to go down by 8 inches for the crowd. Then I added extra 2 inches. I think I added extra 3 to 4 inches because it's a high waist and I don't want it to be fitted. So I am marking at about 12 inches or 11 inches. I can't really remember as of making this video, but for my play suit, I normally add, after getting my crotch depth, that is my hip divided by 4, you can add 1 inch for ease. Then for my play suit, I used to add 3 inches or 4 inches depending on how free or tight I want it. Then I curve it and then curve it down. Remember, this is just a freehand cutting, a very simple lazy cutting. So we're not doing any pattern drafting. So for my back pants, I'm going to go ahead, add my zipper allowance. You can see I left extra for my zipper allowance, and then for my crotch area I'm going to mark about 2.5 inches to 3 inches. Then from there I'm going to curve it to meet my waistline. Remember, this is just a lazy man cutting, no special whatever. Then I also added extra inches at the down part, that's at the lap part. That if you look at it, I added about 1.5 inches where I just marking now. So I'm going to go ahead and connect and cut out this. So the reason for adding extra inches at the crouch back part before slanting it to my waist is so that it can accommodate our butt. So that's the reason for that. And most time children don't usually have butt, so I'm not really worried. And this is not a fitted pants as well. So I went ahead to open up the two sides so that we can go ahead to our sewing tutorial. And for our sewing tutorial, we are going to deal with our bodies first. And for this, I'm going to go ahead and use my fabric bias to turn the armhole inside out, outside in. And I will do the same thing for the back bodies as well. And this is it after I was done turning it to the back. The next thing I'm going to do is to arrange the front and the back body, and then stitch the two sides with about 1 inch because I don't want it to be fitted. So the next thing I'm going to do is to stitch my crush area, the front and then the back. And this is it after I was done stitching it. The two, as you can see, is coming together. And I did not stitch my back side all the way to the waist. I left some way, some inches open because I want to attach zip to it. So I decided to add band to this, and my band I use another fabric, a different fabric, just to give it a little spice. So I'm going to go ahead and stitch it on my front band and then at my back one as well. And this is it after I was stitching it. Okay, while stitching it, I did front facing front. So this is it after stitching it down. What I'm going to do next is to attach my bodies to it. And for this, I'm going to also open up the white area and then do front facing front, and then I'm going to go ahead and do this for the back side as well. Open up the white material and then do front facing front. And this is it after I was done attaching it. The next thing I'm going to do is to arrange the front and the back bodies well. You can see the gown I made earlier a while ago. That's what I'm putting on. I don't know if you guys can see it, the trending style. So I'm going to go ahead and then stitch the two sides, and this is it after stitching the two sides. And then I'm going to go ahead and close up the crush area, the tiny crush area. So we're going to go ahead and cut our halter neck collar. For this, I'm going to go ahead and fold my front neckline into 2 equal parts and then measure to know what I have there. And I have about 4 inches there. So what I'm going to go ahead and mark is a straight line. I can't find my ruler. I don't know where my children kept it. So I'm using this pen as a ruler. I'm going to go ahead and mark a straight line. Then on that straight line, I'm just going to make a mark anywhere. It doesn't necessarily mean in the center, just anywhere to accommodate to measurements. And I'm marking the left side for my front and then the right side for my back. And remember, we have 4 inches for our front, so that's the 4 inches I marked. From that line we marked at the center 4 inches, and then I'm going to measure the one of the back neckline, and there I have 4.5 inches. Then I mark from the center, the first line we marked, to that 4.5 inches. So at the front side, I'm going to go up by ½ inch and then connect it to the center line that we marked, center points that we marked. If you have your French curve, please go ahead and use it. It will make the work easier. So from that line, I'm going to go up by 1 inch all the way down. When you get to the back side, you are going to mark the 1 inch from the first line that we marked. So just go ahead and mark 1 inch all around it, and then we are done marking. I'm going to go ahead and connect all the lines, and from the front side, I'm going to slant mine a little bit. Just go ahead and do the same thing, and then all the lines you are going to go ahead and connect this. And that's all for this before we transfer it to our fabric. So I'm going to go ahead and transfer this to my fabric, and my fabric is folded into two. So where we have our center front, where we have F for our front, we are going to place it at the folded part of our fabric, matching the folded part. And remember what I was, while placing this, you are going to leave extra inches at the down, in fact all around the fabric, so that you can add your allowance to it. Remember, we did not add allowance while cutting it out. So I'm going to go ahead and add ½ inch all around the fabric except for the folded part, and then I'll go ahead and cut it out. Then the next thing I did is to cut this into, to make it, to duplicate it, because I'm going to use one to turn the other one. And this is it. I'm going to go ahead and cut off that sharp edge there. I don't know why I keep having sharp edge after cutting mine, but if yours is doing that, just go ahead and trim it off. So I'm going to go ahead and stitch this all the way from one side to the other. Remember, the longer side is where it's going to be at our neckline. So I just went ahead to make a notch, just like when I open it up, it's not going to have tension there. And I iron it down, then iron in by ½ inch into, or ½ inch, so that when I want to attach it, it's a lot easier for me. So I'm going to go ahead and attach this, and for this I'm starting from the back side. That's like how I like attaching it. So what you're going to do is just to fold it, to push it in. I don't know how to explain. Just place it into the collar, into it. Use your pin to secure it, then stitch it down just the way I am putting it, and that's the same way you're going to do it. So when you are done putting from your zipper allowance, put it, then you join the front one. When you are done with the front one, you also go ahead and then put the other back. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say, and then stitch it down. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give me a thumbs up, and I went ahead to attach my zipper. Give me a thumbs up if you do. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed to my channel. Please share my videos to family and friends. I beg you. Please always watch my videos to the end, and I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.